The conflict in Ukraine continues to escalate, with fresh attacks reported across multiple regions. Civilians and infrastructure remain in the crossfire as tensions rise ahead of new peace talks. Russia's defense ministry announced that its forces have taken control of the settlement of Prydorozhnie in the Zaporizhzhia region in southeast Ukraine. The capture marks another advance amid ongoing clashes in the region. Meanwhile, Russian drones targeted the city of Cherkasy in central Ukraine overnight. 4 people were injured, and homes, cars, and civilian infrastructure were damaged, according to local officials. Ukraine's Air Force reported that Russia launched 1 ballistic missile and 171 long-range drones overnight. Ukrainian air defenses intercepted or destroyed 157 of the incoming drones. Across the border in Russia, images posted by the governor of Belgorod Oblast show a Ukrainian drone strike on Stary Oskol. Authorities reported that 2 civilians were killed in the overnight attack on a residential area. The attacks come just hours after President Volodymyr Zelensky announced the next round of peace talks between Russian and Ukrainian delegations, scheduled for Wednesday and Thursday. Meanwhile, in Donetsk, a UAV attack struck the village of Sartana. Footage shows emergency services clearing debris, while Russian investigators documented damage to private homes. Russian-installed head Denis Pushilin confirmed that a woman and a child were killed, with another child injured. Officials say fragments of what appear to be NATO-made combat drones were recovered at the scene.
Investigators from Russia's investigative committee are documenting and inspecting the aftermath of an armed attack in Sartana, Mariupol district, by Ukrainian armed formations. Thus, the inspection established that 2 civilians sustained injuries incompatible with life, including a child born in 2020. Another child was injured and is currently in a medical facility, where they are receiving qualified medical assistance.
Furthermore, during the inspection of the incident scene, it was established that numerous residential buildings in a private housing area, where there are no weapons or military equipment, sustained significant damage.
At the site of the recent shelling, fragments were discovered, believed to be from attack UAVs of an aircraft type, manufactured in NATO countries. These will be seized and sent for expert analysis to determine the precise type and nature of the explosive device. Information regarding damages and casualties is currently being gathered.
Ukrainian authorities have not commented on the attacks. Kyiv has repeatedly denied targeting civilians, though shelling has heavily affected populated areas across the region. The conflict, now entering its 4th year, continues to devastate civilian life as both sides exchange fire. The world watches closely as diplomacy, military action, and sanctions play out across the region.
Russia carried out a big aerial attack in Kyiv, resulting in massive explosions in the Ukrainian city. Russia's Novosti cited Obshestvenoy television channel, which claimed explosions were heard in the city. On Sunday, Russian attack drones had struck a maternity hospital in southern Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia, injuring 3 women. In another incident, 12 people were killed after a Russian drone strike hit a bus carrying mine workers in Dnipro. The strike came days after U.S. President Donald Trump said that Moscow had agreed to temporarily halt the targeting of Kyiv and other cities as the region suffers under freezing temperatures that have brought widespread hardship to Ukrainians.
And because of the cold, extreme cold, they have the same that we do, I personally asked President Putin not to fire on Kyiv and the cities and towns for a week during this. It's extraordinary. It's not just like cold, it's extraordinary cold, record-setting cold. Over there too, you're having the same. It's a big pile of bad weather, the worst. But it was really. They said they've never experienced cold like that. And I personally asked President Putin not to fire into Kyiv and the various towns for a week. And he agreed to do that. And I have to tell you, it was very nice. A lot of people said, don't waste the call, you're not going to get that. And he did it, and we're very happy that they did it.
That's correct.
Because on top of everything else, that's not what they need, is missiles coming into their towns and cities. So I just thought I should say it. I thought it was a very good thing. And Ukraine was, almost they didn't believe it, but they were very happy about it, because they are struggling badly.
Indeed. President Trump made a personal request to President Putin to refrain from striking Kyiv for a week until February 1st in order to create favorable conditions for negotiations. There's nothing more to say in detail than what's already been said. I just want to emphasize once again that we're talking about creating favorable conditions for negotiations. Yes, of course, there was a personal request from President Trump. There is already an agreement on a meeting, a trilateral meeting at the appropriate level. This meeting will take place next week, as planned, on Wednesday and Thursday in the Emirates, like last time. I just spoke with Rustam Umerov. I have scheduled a meeting for tomorrow to agree on the framework of the conversation and prepare everything. On Monday evening, the team will be on its way to the negotiations. We expect that the American side will be just as active, and in particular, this concerns de-escalation measures, reducing strikes. A lot depends on what the American side will succeed in, so that people trust both the process and the results, of course. UN nuclear watchdog IAEA convened a special meeting last Friday to discuss the risks to nuclear safety in Ukraine due to Russian attacks on its energy infrastructure. So the Kingdom of the Netherlands, together with 11 other board members, have requested an extraordinary meeting of the Board of Governors today because of our grave concerns as to the nuclear safety risks related to Ukrainian nuclear power plants as a result of relentless Russian attacks on the energy infrastructure of Ukraine.
We really appreciate the efforts of the Director General, of the IAEA experts on the ground, and this mission to the Ukrainian substations and to all our power plants are very helpful, especially at this time when Russia is weaponizing the winter to break our will and our spirit. They cannot do it on the front line. They're trying to do this through this genocidal tactic of depriving us of any means of living. Russia has hammered Ukraine's power grid, especially in winter, throughout the nearly 4-year war. The strikes aim to weaken Ukrainians' will to resist in a strategy that Kyiv officials call weaponizing winter. Russian forces are pressing forward in Ukraine with relentless momentum, having captured the village of Stary in the Kharkiv region earlier this week.